The 6th of June finally arrived, and months of planning a trip to the northernmost tip of Australia finally became more than words. Some 3,000 kilometres south of Cape York, we packed the car for 4 weeks on the road, unsure of just how far we would make it. Our Mitsubishi Triton was all but stock standard, and the roads we would travel would be some of the most rugged and remote Australia has to offer. Most travel guides recommend vehicle upgrades that would have cost thousands that we didn't have. The one modification that I was most worried about was not having a snorkel. The numerous river and creek crossings that excited me most would potentially be impassable without a snorkel, and force us onto the main roads and stop us from experiencing the adventure that the trip should have been. We packed light, but even still had little room to move inside the car. The boys surrounded by our gear, but it didn't seem to bother them. The adventure to come had Charlie in good spirit.
We're in the top of Australia. It's coming now.
What's up on top of Australia?
Some alligators, which is pretty bad.
Are they called crocodiles?
Crocs.
Our trip would be in 4 parts. 1. Kilcoy to Airlie Beach. 2. A 1-week stayover in Airlie Beach for our sister-in-law's wedding. 3. Airlie Beach to the Bramwell Junction Roadhouse, and from there, 4. Our journey along the old telegraph track and our arrival at the Cape York Peninsula. Once we finally got on the road, we travelled along the Bruce Highway, passing the Sunshine Coast, Gympie, Maryborough and Childers before arriving at Kinkuna Beach in the Burrum Coast National Park, where we would set up for the first night of our trip. So we've just made our first stop. Don't know where we are, but we're cutting time a bit short. Looks like we're not going to get there before it's dark, so the adventure begins. So it's late. We're heading to Kinkuna camping area and we've hit some sand. So we're airing down, cutting it pretty fine with the light. But hopefully we're about 20 minutes away and we'll get there just before dark. Less than 5 hours into the trip and I engaged four-wheel drive. I had no idea what the road ahead would be like, and with the light fading fast, I was slightly nervous. We came across a few deep puddles like this one, but they proved to be no challenge. On arrival at our campsite, it was dark, so we had little time for filming while setting up. Looking back at the footage from that night, I'd forgotten how cold it was, but that didn't stop us from enjoying some ice cream for dessert.
Well, we had a trip and we're nearly there. It's going to take for so many nights and days.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many.
It's cold.
We just slept and waked up at
Kinkuna.
Kinkuna camping spot.
I'd chosen Kinkuna Beach for our first stop as there is nothing like pitching a tent in the dunes and waking to the sound of the waves, but to arrive in the dark and wake up to a sunrise like this was magical. The beach was ours alone, without a single other camper in sight. It is certainly a destination for the bucket list. Where's Daddy? So we've had a bit of a walk around this morning after getting in late last night. It's a beautiful spot and I wish we could stay another night, but we've got to keep moving. We've got another 500 k's or so to do today and we're going to stop near Yeppoon. So I better get back to it and we'll talk to you soon. Reluctantly we left Kinkuna Beach to continue our journey, but the road to Bundaberg was anything but boring.
Oh, look, this is not one of
Reminds me of the desert a little bit. I hadn't expected Kinkuna Beach and the roads through the Burrum Heads National Park to be a real highlight of the trip, and to start our trip this way was perfect. The following days would be uneventful in comparison.
Look, we're in the puddle. Big one.
This one's massive.
And another big.
Daddy looks so happy.
And he didn't have that much.
No troubles.
You want the wheels to get wetty and muddy?
We're going to be absolutely covered in mud.
Our original schedule allowed 2 nights at Kinkuna Beach, followed by 2 nights in the Byfield National Park and a 1-night
Charlie,
stay
give
at
him
Camilla
away.
Beach
Wave out
before
the
arriving in
window.
Airlie. Due to circumstances beyond our control, our departure from Kilcoy was delayed by 48 hours and our plans changed accordingly. We met with Jess's nan and pop, who were also on their way to Airlie Beach for the wedding, and it was decided we would travel with them and share accommodation to allow for longer days travelling. Staying in caravan parks was not what I had in mind when dreaming of this trip, but the requirement for longer days travelling meant we would arrive after dark, and I was happy to not be pitching the tent in the dark. What is it that you want to do?
I'm gonna go to the water slide.
Yesterday we met up with Nan and Pop, coming up to the wedding as well, and we went from Gin Gin up to here, Yapuna. We stayed at Big 4 Capricorn Palms last night in a cabin. We got here so late we didn't really want to put the tent up, and now we're heading out to Yapuna to check out the town and then going to Mackay.
So yeah, no, it's Yapuna, not Yapuna.
Is that what I said?
Yeah. We briefly headed south to take a look at the Singing Ship Memorial at Emu Park before travelling into Yeppoon for lunch and another splash for Charlie. Back on the Bruce Highway, we travelled through unchanging fields of sugarcane, interspersed with the odd freight train to keep Charlie interested.
Holding Charlie's hand.
Oh, you got a mutton crab.
He's a nice one.
A toilet stop was called for just as we passed our original campsite for night 3, Carmilla Beach. We made a quick detour off the Bruce Highway to check it out and see what we were missing. We encountered our first crocodile warning sign here. As the sun set over the Bruce Highway once again, we travelled the last 100 kilometres up to Mackay. Danny Croc. We got in late last night after dark again, so we decided to stay at the Big 4 in Mackay. We got one cabin this time to share, and we all snuggled into this tiny little place. It was a bit cosy, but it did the job. Now we're going to do a relatively short drive up to Airlie Beach, 2 hours, but not before Charlie has one last jump on the jumping pillow. Can you see him, Charlie, out your window? think there's more coming.
That's one reason. Look at that. It's a lot.
Hey guys, so today was the first day that we got to set up the tent in the daylight. It's nice to get back into the tent after a couple of nights in the cabin. We got set up by 1 p.m. and got to hang out with the family, do a bit of bird feeding. Now we're going to go have some pizza. And tomorrow we check into the resort for a week nearly, and then we're off to Cape York. So I'll chat to you then.